Hello everyone, and welcome to Naysmith Gaming, where I give you both games to enjoy and a topic to think about. For today, we are returning to realMyst Masterpiece Edition, and our topic, as we go through the Selenetic Age, is options. What sort of options? Well, in the most immediate sense, it's the option between Sirrus and Achenar, and is that it? And in general, options as a whole. No, this is rhyme. Here's Selenetic. It has been a while since I have heard only silence, and I enjoy it greatly, I think. For some reason I do not feel altogether welcome in this new world, but in which I have arrived. But how could I be unwelcome in an age with no inhabitants? It is, of course, only in my head. This world is very beautiful, but I think I have yet to ever write in a journal that an age I have linked to is horrid or disgusting. From the grassy hill where I am standing, I can see green fields along with a few scattered forests. A large lake looms some distance from where I am standing, yet the water's blue can be seen plainly from here. The air is fresh and the sky is sparkled with white clouds. It is absolutely breathtaking, and yet that strange feeling again. Perhaps it is the hot breeze that continues to blow from the north, hotter than I would have imagined. It almost singes my skin, and I feel quite uncomfortable when it comes. I'll try to ignore it. Night has almost arrived, and the sunset is spectacular. Oranges and reds have settled above the western horizon. Though night has come, the horizon still glows red long past the sunset. Dark reds flow from the horizon and blend into the black sky. Again the feeling, and I am beginning to believe it is not all in my mind. I am asleep now, and I will need my strength to explore more tomorrow. I have had to return home due to an unpredictable natural occurrence more frightening than I have ever experienced. I was awakened by terrible shakings in the ground and explosions on all sides of me. Gigantic balls of fire were falling from the sky, and I immediately left in fear of my life. I must remember to bring a mist-linking book with me when I return, in case the one left there has been destroyed or damaged. I returned to a different world than the one I left only 3 months ago. It has been transformed into a barren desert land, with only gigantic craters scattered across the land to provide variety. Strangely enough, the small grassy hill where I spent my first night remains exactly the way I found it. Apparently the falling meteors did not hit this area, leaving an oasis in the midst of this horrible desolation. Hot wind, I remember, has been turned into a rather pleasant breeze, which is at least one improvement. I fear it is the only improvement. The magnificent lake I saw in my first visit is now completely dried up. However, another lake now exists and appears to be quite a bit larger. I assume one of the falling meteors created this lake due to its circular shape and the jutting rock that grows out of the center of the lake. The rest of this world seems like desert, although I will verify that statement with closer inspection. Though this world has little visual excitement to offer, it offers much to the ears. Sounds constantly flow through my ears, and I have found where a few of them originate. It seems, as Catherine says, I do find beauty in everything. Last night I was awakened by a horrible hissing. I was sweating, and the heat was so intense that I immediately dipped my head in a nearby stream to cool it down. The hot breezes had returned, along with a low roar from the ground. I walked a short distance to observe some red flames shooting up from the earth. Suddenly the ground began to crack, and a huge chasm opened. The chasm continued to grow until it was far too wide to cross. Then the tumult subsided, leaving only a dull roar. I have decided, however, that I can use the chasm to my advantage. Perhaps the heat from the chasm can be harnessed. Even as the chasm has ripped into the surface of this world, it has opened up a whole new world to explore. Although uncomfortably hot, I found it possible to reach a cave in the chasm that has been created, and have now explored deep into the crust of this planet. I have found a vast underground cave system that will take many years to map and explore. I will also look for a safer way to reach the underground than through the chasm wall. This age seems to change on its own, so I should leave again to see if things are different when I return. It was also important that I check on Sirrus and Achenar and make sure that everything is going along well. When I return, I also hope to bring back some tools I will need for my plans to explore the underground. The abundance of raw materials here is beginning to amaze me. I have returned with some of the complex tools I knew I would be needing. I assumed I would have to return for more basic materials, however. It seems as though I will be able to find everything I need here. Of course, iron is abundant, but I have also found titanium occurring naturally. I am all the more excited to begin work. Everything is set, and I look forward to tomorrow. My raw materials are all here. I think I'll be able to have most of my additions to this age completed within 1 year. I so love working with my hands, whether writing or building. And it's starting to fade out. Bunch of notes, And the rocket ship. More faded out. I am leaving today in order to bring back Sirrus and Achenar. I have left them alone in Channelwood. I believe they will enjoy all there is to see here. The age seems to have stabilized. I believe the meteor set off a period of volcanic activity by piercing into the shallow crust, but the tremors have become few. I've just noticed that a large amount of this journal has curiously vanished from the very pages on which I wrote over the last 18 months. Fortunately, I copied many of my construction notes in another journal. I do not understand the many mysteries of this world, but I trust I will discover logical answers to my questions. I have a feeling that many of my questions can be answered in another age to which I hope to travel soon. But for now, I must simply accept this world's mysteries and take pride in my accomplishments. There's the keyboard, we already used it. Here's a map of the place. Okay, let's go. And it's still in position. It is, as Achenar said, appears to be heavily damaged. Okay, so let's turn the lights on. Let's keep it on. Okay, nothing around here. A bunch of spires. Switch that on. And a red page. The pages. Interesting choice. Except these pages, they aren't actually there as a puzzle. They're there to prove that I've completed the puzzle, which is distinct in one very crucial way. Make sure that I understand what my options are. It's one thing to say, free one of the two brothers. It's quite another to say, free the greedy one, or free the bloodlusting one. Okay, lights. Let's make sure I understand. Let's make sure that the player understands what they are choosing. Okay, I'm clicking the clock, which means I have to find... Box FTC2, so I want to go a little before then, because I say... Just a little after. At least water and fire, wind, earth, time. So I need to find those two. Seriously? The light's already out. to find water and fire. Okay, this is definitely fire. Blue page. I'll leave it be for now. I had the option of not looking too deeply into things. If I hadn't, I would not have spotted that message from Sirrus and Achenar about one page. I also had the option of not looking too deeply at that ripped pages, those two ripped pages, which told me about a special vault, which I will look into later. And let's begin the tedious process of looking for water. But first time, we'll be able to right. Crystals, water. Crystal, water, fire, air, time. Crystal, water, fire, air. Forgot that I did that. Okay, time to find somewhere to put that code into. I thought I saw something as I was heading to the water. Here something is. Yep. Okay, I'm going to need to go back and check. Crystal water. Crystal water air fire time. There it goes. Okay. All I can press is forward. This puzzle is infamous, which is why I'm specifically not going to look at my answers to the mechanical age, but know that mechanical age gives me the directions that I wanted from that rotation scenario. Facing north, Tink. Cannot go northeast, and it gives me the Tink anyway, despite the direction I'm facing, so cannot go south, cannot go southwest, so therefore Tink means north. Now I have a whir. I can't go north. Can't go northeast. Can't go east. Can't go southeast. I can go south, but that'll take me just the way I came. Can't go southwest. I can go west, which means whir is west. And I've also seen that Atris loves writing down the answers, or recording them in some way. Tink, that means I want north. Hiss. A hiss. It will not be south because I did not change direction, which means it must be east, because west is taken by whir. It's not Tink for north, it cannot be south, therefore it must... Another hiss for east. A donk noise. The only direction left is south. have all these sounds without even consulting Mechanical Age. Wait, that was Donk. Thus, an alternate option for solving this puzzle without having to go through Mechanical Age first. The Whirring of West. Donk and Whir, that's west and south. I appear to have chosen poorly. No, that's Tink for north. The Hiss for east. Southeast? Ah, this looks promising. Let's not put you through that puzzle a second time. In a few moments, I will pause this, and I will return when I have finished this puzzle a second time. And now I have the blue page, and let's listen to Achenar first this time.
Hello, I'm Achenar. I'm glad to see that you've returned to help me escape from my wrongful imprisonment. It was Sirrus who did this to me. Sirrus, my wicked brother. Do not listen to him. I warn you. He's a liar. Do not be persuaded by his evil lies. Do not release him. He killed my father. He will kill you. Be began when my brother Sirrus began to lust for riches. He stole from the ages of mist. He hoarded riches for himself. My father slept away his watchfulness. My sick brother secretly pronounced himself king. King of the ages of mist, he said. He began to look upon me in disgust. His lowly brother hated him. And then Sirrus began to destroy the ages of mist. He burned their forest. He tore down their structures. He flooded their lands. He murdered their inhabitants. Completely destroyed all but 4 of the ages. Of course, I had one father. When I finally found him, there was Sirrus also, talking cleverly. The lying tongue of a serpent. He had convinced father that it was I who destroyed the ages. He convinced father that it was I who was greedy for wealth and plunder. And as Sirrus dealt the final blow, he tricked father into believing that I was the murderer. But Sirrus did not deal as fast a blow as he planned. And his father died a slow death. He at last doubted my brother's clever lies, and so in dying, father imprisoned us both. Unsure from which of us the blow had come. I swear to you what I say is true. Release me. You must release me. My brother is a deceitful liar and deserves punishment. I only wish vengeance for my dear father. His murder. Believe me. You must only recover 1 additional page to release me from this prison. It's the easiest to find. Go to the bookshelf that's in this library. On the far right side of the middle shelf, there's a burned book, which is different from the other burnt books. This book is filled with patterns. Find pattern 158. Mimic its design on the panel in the fireplace. Doing this will bring you to the last blue page. Remember, don't take the red page. Only the blue page. Return quickly to me. And do not touch the green book. It's a clever trap to imprison those who have not been warned. Do not be tempted, for you will rot and die, imprisoned as I am. I tell you, if you follow my instructions, it will be well worth your while. I promise you that. Go. Go.
And now let's listen to Sirrus inside.
You finally returned. I owe you a debt of gratitude, for you have nearly released me. My name is Sirrus. I trust that from your explorations you've become convinced that my wicked brother Achenar is guilty, and I am innocent. It is I who am wrongly imprisoned here. Imprisoned by my father. I don't know who you are, or how you came to this island, but I assume you must at least know something of the books. It was father who was a master of the books. He wrote hundreds of them, all describing and linking to the fantastic places and ages which he had discovered. The room in which you now stand was our father's library. It was here in this room, on this island named Mist, that he housed most of these books. But such a waste. By now, you have surely discovered that Achenar has burnt and mutilated most of these books. Why? Our father was always watchful of our exploration. We grew up under his strict supervision. But when we came of age, he gave us unbridled access to the Mist books. He began to leave our adventures more and more unchecked. Unsupervised as we were, my brother began to become disturbed. He began to take more from the Mist ages than he had given. Soon he gained a twisted pleasure from the conquest and destruction of the other ages. It was horrific. this thirst for destruction. But alas, even I discovered his insanity too late. He had completely destroyed all of the Myst Ages but 4. I wasted no time. In warning my father, I thought he would recognize Achenar's guilt. But in a fit of rage, he imprisoned both my brother and myself within the pages of these books, designed to hold us until he could judge which of us was guilty. To discover the truth, our father embarked on one final journey. However, he has never returned. I can only assume that he perished along the way, leaving me, an innocent victim, entrapped forever. But now, you are here to release me. Listen carefully. You must find one more page and I will be forever free. There is a book on the shelves in this library which is mostly burned but has a few pages still intact. It is the last book on the middle shelf. Find it. This book is filled with a variety of patterns. Find pattern 158 and recreate it on the door of the fireplace. This will bring you to the last red page. Bring that page to me, and I will finally be released, and able to reward you, of course. Ignore the blue page. That page finishes my brother's book. It chills me to even think what would happen if you were to release him. There is another warning. Where the red and blue pages reside, also resides a green book. If you touch the green book, you also will be imprisoned forever. Our father gave us this same warning long ago. I suggest you follow his advice. Go now. Soon we will meet face to face.
So, it appears I have 3 options. The first option is to do as one of them has said. Second is to do as the other has said. The third option is to try that green book. However, here's the thing. Both of them say that both of them agree on just 2 things. That their father is probably dead. Actually, Achenar says he's actually dead at Sirrus' hand, and Sirrus simply says he's vanished. His vanishment actually matches his message to Catherine. However, his claim that in a fit of rage he was imprisoned, or rather, that Atris in a fit of rage imprisoned both of them, doesn't exactly match Atris' message, because he said he suspects them both, but he needs to do investigating. Which means he doesn't exactly seem the sort prone to a fit of rage. So the question is which option do I exercise? Do I go for Sirrus as an innocent who's held on to his sanity despite the imprisonment? Achenar as an innocent who has been unhinged by his imprisonment? Or do I distrust both of them and open that green book? Well, as happens, I found that proverbial smoking gun of a message left by Sirrus to Achenar, so I'm going to at least open that green book, because I have every reason to believe that it works like all the other books, which means I have to actually touch the linking panel. One of each page. Let's at least take a look.
Who the devil are you? Don't come here to Dunny, not yet. Oh, I have many questions for you, my friend, as you no doubt have for me. Where should I begin? Perhaps my story is in order. My name is Atris. I feel you've met my sons, Sirrus and Achenar, in the red and blue books on Mist Island in my library. My library. It contains my works, my writings. Oh, I wrote many books that linked me to fantastic places. It's an art I learned from my father many years ago. Oh, but the red and blue books, those were different. I wrote those books to entrap over greedy explorers who might stumble upon my island of mist. But I had no idea my own sons would be entrapped. My sons, Sirrus and Achenar. We had many journeys together. I gave them free rein to the books. Perhaps it was not wise. I could see the greed growing in them. I had not told them about the red and blue books. Their imaginations went wild. They dreamed of riches and power. Of course, they did not know the books were traps. They begged me for access to those books, and I, of course, denied them. Oh, they devised a plan. An evil plan. I had no idea to what extent their greed had progressed. Their own mother. Oh, my own dear Catherine. They used her to lure me here to Dunny. Of course, I could return to Myst, except they removed a single page from my Myst linking book. I cannot return without that page. You, my friend, can bring that page to me. Oh, I pray you believe my story above the lies that my sons have told you. If you could find it in yourself to return that page to me here in Dunny, I could go to Myst and bring justice to my sons for what they've done. I must return to my writing. I pray that you believe me. Please hurry. Bring the page. Bring the page with you.
Well, that progressed interestingly, which contradicts Achenar's story. Actually means that Sirrus' story is mostly confirmed, except he edited out his own greed and ambition. Now let's look into that vault that I found about. I've already put all the sparker switches in the on position. Let's see. Oh, hey. Hey, here's the white page. It was the only place left on the entire map where it could be.
Have you found the missing page? Come, come. Come on, then. Ah, my friend. You've returned. And the page. Did you bring the page? Ah, give it to me. You've done the right thing. I have a difficult choice to make. My sons have betrayed me. I know what I must do. I shall return shortly. questions for you, my friend, but my rating cannot wait. I fear that my long delay may have already had a catastrophic impact on the world in which my wife Catherine is being held hostage. Oh, reward. I'm sorry, but all I have to offer you is the library on the island of Myst. The books that are contained there. Feel free to explore at your leisure. I hope your explorations are satisfying. You will no longer have my sons to deal with. Oh, and one more favor. I'm fighting a foe much greater than my sons could ever have imagined. At some point in the future, I may find it necessary to request your assistance. Till that point, you're free to enjoy the exploration from my library on Myst. And thank you again. Oh, the book. You can use the Myst linking book to return to Myst.
So, returning to our topic of options, Sirrus and Achenar were given the option of going wherever they wanted and doing what they wanted. Atris had the option to stop them, but chose not to. But he also chose not to reveal his... Impressive. He chose not to reveal the true nature of the Red and Blue books. And so two great evils were captured. But they were allowed to run rampant in the first place. If any of them had chosen differently, perhaps this could have happened differently as well. Let's look at the Rhyme book later. For now, this is Naysmith signing off. Thank you and have a good day, everyone.